I just think that people love coffee, and I think that people love booze. And when you put those two things together, people are gonna love it no matter what it is, no matter whether it's balanced or whatever or not. But vodka in an espresso martini is just like we're alcoholizing coffee flavor. And then the idea of taking espresso and then putting coffee liqueur into it is also kind of weird, other than just like, I'm gonna add more coffee flavor, but with sugar and a little booze, right? So like, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, that can be achieved so many other ways too, you know? It definitely seems like one of those drinks that like, someone's like, make me a drink that will like wake me up, fuck me up, and then Dick Bradsell's like, oh, I got it. I can do this like in 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Imbibe Magazine is a periodical that I have been subscribed to for a good portion of my bartending life, definitely quite a few years. And it's one of 3 like major publications that, you know, kind of cover cocktail culture or whatever. In the most recent issue, they collaborated with a bunch of different bartenders from around the country to create cocktails that are based on the Espresso Martini. And I thought it would be kind of a fun episode to just make all of them and rank them, favorite to not favorite, and kind of talk about them a little bit. They look really good, and I'm excited to get into it, and then hopefully it'll just influence you guys to go out and make some of them. You know, it'll be cool, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, all right? The Daily Rituals is a cocktail created by a San Diego bartender named Allison Larson for Polite Provisions. Polite Provisions is one of the most famous San Diego bars. It has been nominated for and won at least one Spirited Award for Best Bar. I would be surprised if they didn't have Best Bar Team as well. It was first opened, I think, by Eric Castro, which is the most visible San Diego barman, and I'm excited to get into the drink, so let's do it. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna do 2 dashes of mole bitters, which is just like, a dash is basically about 1 whole dropper full, yeah. So we're just gonna do that instead of counting the drops like we've done in the past. 2 dashes mole bitters. There is no like least ingredient, like least expensive ingredient in this thing. They're all kind of the same level. So 1/4 ounce of Liqueur 43.
These are all espresso martini variants that don't have espresso in them?
All of them are, yeah. 1/2 ounce, well, inspired by the Espresso Martini might be a little bit more. I didn't say, I'm not sure if I really said a riff on
right,
it,
yeah, but
or a variant. It's just
by
cocktails that are inspired by the Espresso Martini, yeah. So giving Espresso Martini vibes in different ways.
Without the
some of them have espresso, some of them have it like cold brew concentrate. I don't know if any of them have actual espresso in it. Some of them have cold brew concentrate. One of them has a coffee syrup, right. But not all of them are gonna have, like actual coffee in it. But this has a coffee liqueur, which we're doing 1/2 ounce of this coffee liqueur. I'm using Cafe Lolita because it's a little bit more sweet than something like Mr. Black would be. And I want that extra sweetness in it, so. And then we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of Meletti and 3/4 ounce of aged rum. Which is crazy is that like this is like a sour cocktail, but with no citrus in it, which is interesting. Like it has an egg white or agua faba. Crack our egg here. Oh, I really shattered that. It's all good though. Oh no, I want to check my specs just in case.
You did?
No, I just have to add one thing. I'm gonna add this later though. You got to cut all the stuff about not having coffee in it though. And 3/4 ounce of cold brew concentrate. I'm gonna do 1 big piece of ice and 1 cheater cube. So the big piece of ice is gonna give us texture, and the cheater cube is gonna give us the dilution that we need. This thing is such a pain in the ass. Suctions itself closed no matter how gingerly you close it. Give it a shake. Strain it. No garnish. So here we go. Cheers. Oh, that is fantastically good. You get rich, deep chocolate flavor, and then you have the Amaro creating this bitterness in there. The mole bitters also is tempering that sweetness. You get a little bit of vanilla in there. It tastes like an insanely good cup of espresso. It is fantastic. I'm not sure what I used Havana Club. I'm not really sure what the rum is doing in there other than just kind of providing a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit of the rum, like kind of rum sort of funk to it maybe. But it is so deep and dark, and that Meletti and coffee is just like, mwah. And then Meletti actually has cola nut in its makeup, and so you get almost like a little tiny back palate cola vibe, dude. It's really good. So there it is, The Daily Rituals by Allison Larson of Polite Provisions. All right, pretty good. That was the Daily Rituals. Competition's gonna be stiff. If I were gonna have just one criticism of the last cocktail. I just don't understand what the point of putting espresso and egg white into it. It didn't seem like you got that like big ass foam that you usually get with sours. For some reason, it seemed like maybe the ingredients or something in one of the ingredients sort of killed the foam a little bit of the egg white.
Thick layer of
but
foam.
It's the same foam that you would get from just shaking coffee. Just if you just shake coffee, you shake the concentrated coffee, you get that foam.
Did it change the texture?
Do you really need it? I mean, not noticeably. I don't know. I don't think so. Well, you know what? It's gonna sit in there for a while, right? So let's see what happens after it sits for a while. Let's see how like stable the foam is, right? If it's super stable, then I'll be like, well, maybe, you know, then it obviously added texture to it and added something to it. But like other than that, that's just like my only criticism. It was balanced, it was nuanced. It definitely, you know, hit the espresso martini thing. Like I give it like a 8 out of 10. I mean, it was a really good drink. It was a really, really good drink. So
just for reference, what is the espresso martini? What is that out of a 10? Is that a 10 out of 10 then?
Oh, I don't know. The espresso martini. Yeah, I guess we have to. I guess we have to put. I was actually doing the scale objectively as a cocktail, not against the espresso martini, because honestly, I think the espresso martini is kind of a shit cocktail. I'm not a. I like riffs on the espresso martini better than I like the original. And I can see why the original would be like so as popular as it was like at the time. But so many riffs, so many better cocktails have come out of that cocktail. I think that the main contribution of the espresso martini is that it inspired better drinks than itself. So I was judging it objectively as a cocktail and not against the espresso martini. I don't think that that would be fair to the Daily Rituals, because I think that the Daily Rituals is a better drink than the espresso martini.
Okay.
I just think that people love coffee, and I think that people love booze. And when you put those two things together, people are gonna love it no matter what it is, no matter whether it's balanced or whatever or not. But vodka in an espresso martini is just like we're alcoholizing coffee flavor. And then the idea of taking espresso and then putting coffee liqueur into it is also kind of weird, other than just like, I'm gonna add more coffee flavor, but with sugar and a little booze, right? So like, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, that can be achieved so many other ways too, you know? It definitely seems like one of those drinks that like, someone's like, make me a drink that will like wake me up, and then Dick Bradsell's like, oh, I got it. I can do this like in 5 minutes, you know what I mean? And that's not to take away what Dick Bradsell created. He's created a few drinks that are like some of the most popular drinks in all of time. I just don't think that that particular one is like that successful. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get shit on all over the internet for talking shit about the espresso martini, but.
I mean, it's successful, but maybe it's not that.
Well, it's successful, but it's not, but no. But it depends on what we're talking about when it comes to success. It is successful in that it became popular.
Right.
That is its success. But is it successful as a cocktail? Not so much. I don't think so. If you're rating it as a cocktail based on like nuance and balance and all of these different things that you would normally rate a cocktail on, is it successful? So for instance, there could be a very successful drink that is successful as a drink that doesn't become popular at all.
Right.
The popularity of a drink, like we were talking about in the last video, has absolutely nothing to do with whether it's a good drink or not. I mean, there are a lot of really crappy drinks like Incredible Hulks and all these club drinks that are insanely popular and were insanely popular that are not successful as drinks.
Right.
But they're just successful in that they're popular, but they're not successful as a piece of culinary work. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you don't think the espresso martini?
I think that it falls short of so many of the riffs that it inspired, is what I think. I think that like, you know, I mean, someone gives me an espresso martini, I'm gonna drink it, you know? It's not a terrible drink. It's just not like, it's just like, you know, on the scale of what's possible, you know, with those flavors, it's just very, you know, not inspiring, I think. The Tipsy Jitters was created by a Nashville, Tennessee bartender named Alex Howard, working at a bar called Martha My Dear. This one's gonna be a lot more literal of a representation of an espresso martini. Just, you know, kind of playing with the specs. So we're just gonna do 1 ounce of vodka, 1 ounce cold brew concentrate, 1/2 ounce of coffee liqueur, 1/4 ounce of Averna, which is a nice touch, I think. And we actually expanded some heavy cream. We put 3 dashes of Angostura bitters and ½ ounce of simple syrup in here to sweeten it a little bit and give it a little more complexity. We're doing this on a rocks glass. So let's grab a rocks glass. I hate it when this happens. There's no water on the bottom of these. They came straight out of there. That have been sitting there for weeks into there. So it's kind of annoying. Are you shooting every time I go over there and put things away?
I mean, I'm just moving the camera.
Bit of shake. And we're going to take our expanded heavy cream here and we are going to layer it on top. Here it is, the Tipsy Jitters. Let's try it. It's like a boozy espresso martini milkshake. I'm not hating it. It's pretty good. It hits the spot. It's a nice nightcap drink right here. I mean, it's a like straight up espresso martini. What gives it a little bit of complexity and a little bit of bitterness on the finish is you got a little bit of Angostura bitters in the cream, and then you also have that Averna, which is a good call as it plays really well with the coffee. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward drink. It's not super complex or anything. It's just like is what it is. Pretty good, I like it. So there it is, the Tipsy Jitters. This cocktail is called a Cage Mexicana, but I think it's probably like Caje Mexicana, because cage in Spanish, Caje. Hold on, because it's obvious if it's Mexican, it's Spanish, but.
Because caged Mexican does not sound like a good name.
That's not what it is. Hold on, oh no, it was a.
It's supposed to be cafe?
It's supposed to be cafe, yeah. It was just a shit autocorrect is what it was. I was Cage Mexicana, what is that? And there's like no Spanish translation for it. So I was like, what the is this? So I had to look it up. The Cafe Mexicana is from Intermezzo Coffee and Cocktails in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it is on their menu currently. Let's make it and see what it is all about. All right, this kind of flips the script a little bit because we're doing a full 2 ounces of cold brew here. Bam, bingo bango. Ooh, shit, this one also has Averna in it. God damn. 2 with Averna in it? Yeah. I mean, Averna's a good call for coffee, but 3/4 of an ounce of vanilla syrup. I don't know why I put the orgeat here. It's I think just because I labeled it, but it doesn't actually have to be in this cocktail. It's not in this cocktail in any way. We're gonna do ½ ounce of Averna, 1/4 ounce orange curacao. Did you ever bring the coffee liqueur?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I put them down.
Where'd you put it?
There.
Oh, there it is. 1/4 ounce of coffee liqueur. And last but not least, 1.5 ounces of Reposado tequila. Bingo, bango, booyah. All right, we're gonna use a highball for this one. We should start using Collins Spears. Oh yeah, that is a thing of beauty. Oh yeah, let's give this a taste. This is, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be up all night with these cocktails. This is not. I gotta say that when I first saw this cocktail, like when I first saw the specs, I thought 3/4 of an ounce of vanilla syrup is a lot, but it's also got like a full 2 ounces of coffee and 1.5 ounces of tequila. So I was like, this is a high volume cocktail. I can understand why it's in a Collins glass. But I gotta say that the vanilla syrup is not like super, it doesn't make it super sweet. And I think that's because the coffee liqueur, like the astringency of the coffee, first of all, and then a little bit of the coffee liqueur, the dry curacao, but especially the Averna kind of conspire to sort of take that sweetness down. I know that sounds kind of antithetical because all liqueurs have some sugar in it, but they're pretty low in sugar. The Averna wins the day here, the way that it's juxtaposed to the coffee, but then also it works really well with the Reposado tequila. Although I do think that this cocktail would also be very good with some tequila that's like more aged, like an añejo or an extra añejo, so you get more barrel notes. Because if I were gonna say like one thing, like just one like small criticism, is that it seems like it's a little bit kind of sharp and thin, but I still really do like it. It's good, but you know, that's my assessment. I haven't like rated the last one either, but give this guy like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
6 out of 10 like against cocktails, not against the espresso martini. It's nice though, like as like just an iced coffee though. I mean, it's definitely the best iced coffee. It wins over all iced coffee. Sleepwalker was created by New York City bartender Paul Ramirez at a Brooklyn bar called We Got Company, where he is also a partner. This one kind of confounds me a little bit because I don't see how the volume works, but maybe it does. We are gonna find out. So we're gonna do 1 dash of Mexican chocolate bitters. So of course, we're using the Bitterman's Mole. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of this coffee syrup. So coffee syrup is just 140 grams of Demerara or turbinado sugar to 330 grams of like a concentrated coffee. I use the cold brew concentrate that we've been using. 1/4 ounce Fernet. 1.5 ounces of Blanco tequila. I'm using this Distillador 99 proof. Goes in a footed beer glass, which is that's the thing. And I'm like, footed beer glass. I don't know if this, I know it just doesn't seem like the volume's gonna do it, but maybe it will. Let's see. I'm gonna be using this glass. It's actually, I think, a little less voluminous than a footed beer glass would be. Let's put some ice in here. I'm gonna prep it with a lot of ice. No, volume works. It's actually a little too voluminous for the glass I chose. And then do an orange twist. Oh, the favorite I was using earlier. Isn't the whole purpose of having a drawer here so this doesn't happen? Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring it in the kitchen?
Maybe. I don't know why.
Hmm?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why I would either. I have another one in the kitchen. I have a different one in the kitchen. Let's try it. Oh, wow. Well, the citrus does that wonders. The Fernet is really, really, really prevalent with the tequila. You taste a lot of the tequila in there. And you obviously have the coffee right on the front. Honestly, what you have is, as soon as you drink it, you get this really nice big pop of orange. You taste those like roasted agave notes inside the tequila somehow. You get the coffee, and then you get a little bit of bitterness on the finish, and that obviously is from the Fernet. I don't know, it's pretty freaking fantastic. I'm gonna give it
8.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, but then it's a tied with the other one. It is, like, if I'm gonna be honest though, it is an 8, so there it is, the Sleepwalker. A damn fine coffee martini was created by a New Orleans bartender named Jordan Bears for Cane and Table. Let's get into it. This one looks interesting. I'm excited about this one. We're gonna do 1 ounce cold brew concentrate, 1/4 ounce of orge, 1/2 ounce Fernet, 1/2 ounce Grand Marnier, 1 ounce spiced rum. Use one with a little pebbling on it. All right, let's taste it. Cheers. Pretty good, pretty good. You know, I was gonna say that the Fernet Branca dominates because the very first thing that you taste is the Fernet, even over the coffee, although you do, you know, get quite a coffee hit, obviously, there's an ounce in there. I feel like the rum gets a little bit lost in there, but the Fernet sort of changes on your palate to the Grand Marnier almost, like, kind of hard to describe, but like, you get that Fernet hit, and then as you swallow, you're like bracing for that like bitterness that you get on your back palate, and then it just smooths out into like an orange flavor, which is really nice. It's a really nice touch. I don't know that I'm detecting so much spiced rum in here, but I don't know, maybe that's not true actually. I kind of do actually get that rum right on the front with the Fernet. It kind of gives it a sort of Coca-Cola vibe, which is nice. I like this drink a lot. It is a damned fine espresso martini variation.
You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
I think I'm gonna give this one a 7. It's good, but I just like that first one so much. So before we make this cocktail, I've got to make this like cold sweet foam. So what we're gonna do here is take a 1/4 cup measure. Yes, I know it's for dry ingredients and I don't care. And we're just gonna do a 1/4 cup of whole milk. And we're gonna take a tablespoon measure here. This is 1 table. This looks like a huge tablespoon, doesn't it?
It does look very big, yeah.
It looks big, yeah, for a tablespoon, but apparently it is a tablespoon. So I'm just gonna tablespoon of powdered sugar. I don't know how you did this, but.
Like that.
Okay. And forgot one thing, sorry. Sorry. And we're just gonna do a little dribble drabble here of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna foam it with a latte foamer. All right, let's make this drink. Let's make this drink, shall we? So, oh, you know what? Let's not forget the bitters because we tend to do that sometimes. So we're gonna do 2 dashes of Scrappy's Fire Water bitters. You can use any spicy bitters you like, but this is what's used in the original, and so that's what we're using since we're, doing a little taste test and rate. 1/4 ounce of orgeat, 1/2 ounce of ancho reyes, chile liqueur, 3/4 coffee liqueur, 3/4 mezcal, 2 ounces of our, here, let's mix it up a little bit. 2 ounces of Abuelita's hot chocolate. You know what I didn't do? I didn't announce this cocktail. The Abuelita's Revenge was created by Judson Sherman Rose at Chicago's Broken Shaker, which is in the Freehand Hotel, which we stayed at when we were in Chicago. All right, so we're gonna give this a shake. All right, here we go. And then we're just gonna pour it. I think we're gonna just hit this up again and make it silky. And then we're just gonna spoon it on top. Ta-da! Oh man, I think I know which one wins, dude. Oh my God, that is everything. Oh my God. All right, well, I think we got our winner.
Yeah.
That is incredibly good. Mezcal is a bully in cocktails. It just really just overtakes the flavor profile of everything. And yet in here, you get all of the notes of the espadín, a little bit of that citrusiness, along with the ancho reyes that plays so well with the Abuelitas. And the Abuelitas hot chocolate has almost like a pepperiness to the finish. It almost tastes like an ancho at the end. And so then the ancho liqueur is really bringing that up. And then you, of course, have a little bit more sugar from the Cafe Lolita. I had to use Cafe Lolita in this because it's Mexican coffee liqueur. It pairs so well with this. And then the sweet, cold milk foam is just like, it's just like lightly sweet. It's fluffy. It's like amazingly good with it all. Obviously it's a dessert or like a nightcap cocktail, but this one, I think I gotta give it a 10. It's amazingly good. This is it. The Abuelita's Revenge. All right, I think that we're gonna like kind of officially rank them, even though I sort of did it throughout, but this is the way it goes. Abuelita's Revenge, number 1, and then we've got Daily Rituals, number 2, Sleepwalker, number 3, the Cafe Mexicana, number 4, Damn Fine Espresso Martini, number 5, and then Tipsy Jitters took the last place, unfortunately. But I gotta say that this is just ranked based on like how much I like them against each other. They're all super good cocktails and you should make every single one of them because you will enjoy them all. They are all very good. I just want to like hit you over the head with that. It's not like, oh, this was the best and that was the worst. No, it's just, this is just the order in which I like them, but they're all fantastic cocktails. So good job, bartenders, and good job Imbibe. In San Francisco, they won many spirited awards. They're very, very good at what they do. I'm excited to get into this drink. Let's do it. All right, so.
San Francisco or San Diego?
San Diego. I said San Francisco twice, and then I redid it to correct myself that it was San Diego.
But
San Diego, polite provisions.
But then you said San Francisco now with at the end.
No, I didn't. Oh, fine, we have to do it all over again. Okay. And then we're gonna do some coffee syrup here. I'll give you the specs. Wait. What other specs of the coffee syrup? I forgot. Hold on. But the Averna kind of wins the day here with the way that it's juxtaposed. B-E-A-R-S is Bears.
B-E-A-R-S.
A-R-S, Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Jordan Bears is his name.